people might not know this, but your older brother, Joshua Harris, wrote the best-selling book, I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you are sort of under his shadow, or do you see him as a mentor in your life?
Well, we have, for a long time been, Josh Harris's little brothers, and that's not something that is something that we could, be annoyed at or feel like is a bad thing, but we never have. We see it as a tremendous honor to have a father and to have an older brother who have really gone out and done hard things for Christ, and to be able to stand on their shoulders and learn from them and have them speak into our lives. So it's just been a tremendous blessing.
Yeah, so basically, you are kind of following their legacies, or just the things that they've also set before you and mandated for you as you were growing up.
Yeah, well, really standing on their shoulders, because that's something that, a lot of generations miss, is the idea that, they are supposed to be able to stand on the shoulders of those who have gone behind them. They're supposed to be able to reach further and higher and go farther than those who went before them, and that really should be the way it works, because each generation, whether they messed up really bad or whether they did everything right, has something to teach the next generation. And that's because when you're reaching the end of your life, if you made a lot of mistakes, most people are not they're not alive anymore just for themselves. They really realize, my life's almost over. What can I share with those coming after me?
Right.
And so they're at that season of life where they can share, I did this wrong, I wish I hadn't done that. I did this right, I'm so glad I did that. If I was your age, here's what I would do.
Right.
All of that advice coming from someone who's really a godly man or woman is going to be a blessing to young people. And we've had that with our father, with our brother, older brother Josh, older brother Joel, our mother, just to be able to say, what would you do if you were me? Talk to Josh. He's written a book before. He's done conferences and all the things that we're doing. And so to say, what would you encourage us? How would you warn us? What should we be careful about? And he can share that and really give us good counsel. And so we're standing on their shoulders. We're hopefully going to be even more fruitful, not necessarily more fruitful than them, but more fruitful than we would have been if we weren't taking advantage of their wisdom and experience.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's true for any young person.
And, yeah, and now you're finding yourselves kind of in the same position that they were in, and you've got younger brothers and sisters.
We do.
And so you're, it's kind of like, how do you take on that role now?
Yeah. Well, it's not something that makes you, proud, or it's nothing that we can take credit for.
Right.
It really is something that brings humility, and also brings with it a sober responsibility to pass that on, and to be that same encouragement and example to the siblings in our family who are younger than us.